Star quality. I got it. I got this. You got it. You got it. My chart says so. Look at me go. Sun, moon, rising. It's all about timing. It's all about timing. Earthlings. What's it all mean? What's it all mean? Star quality.
What's it all mean? What's it all mean?
Star quality.
Woo. No, dude, really, what does it all mean?
Star quality. I got it. You got it. You got it. Star quality. Star quality. Welcome back to Star Quality, everybody. I am your host, astrologer Stevie, and wow, how are we all? Wellness check for everybody out there listening. How is everybody doing? I mean, eclipse seasons are just really what they are, is there like a German word for, things that should surprise you, but how consistently it happens so you're not surprised? Like in theory, I'm always like stunned how eclipses really deliver on just amplifying energy. Of course, negatively sometimes, globally. But then also, also really good stuff too. Like it can be just so all or nothing. But yeah, we are going to get into the eclipse that is happening today, happened in the early hours. I'm talking about the full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo. That is March 3rd, 2026 at 3:38 a.m. Pacific time. Adjust for your time zone. Also, I've been seeing so many people posting that it's at 3:33 a.m. Pacific. And while I would love the angel number to be true, it's not. It's 5 minutes later. I don't know. It's probably ChatGPT told people 3:33 and they ran with it because it looked good. Also, it's 3:3. It's March 3rd at 3:33. The eclipse will be building to a near peak during 3:33, so that is interesting. But no, the exact peak, exact conjunctions where it starts to then slow down, move through its eclipse processes, at that 3:38 a.m. Pacific time. So usually, if you don't know, hi, this is a podcast and newsletter, astrology podcast and newsletter. Also gets into life and pop culture and politics. And usually for the lunations, I'm going to get into them. We are in eclipse season. So the last episode that I did was also about the new moon eclipse that we had on February 17th. That was a new moon eclipse in Aquarius. It was also the Lunar New Year. And it was also the beginning of a whole new eclipse series in Aquarius and Leo. So normally I paywall. That's just part of my thing. I have subscriber tiers if you'd like to join. So for $7.77 a month, you get all the paywalled things, all the full weekly horoscopes. I give the first few days for free, and then the rest of the week is behind the paywall. Any of the paywall-y stuff is your permission granted. But today, this happens sometimes. I do this every once in a while. Today, I'm unlocking the episode. It's free for all. You're welcome. And when I do this usually is when we really need it. So yeah, it's feeling like a really needed time. So I want to open up this episode for all. But if you liked what you heard at the end, or maybe even while you're listening, feel free to upgrade your subscription and become a member of my third space here on Substack. And so, yeah, you can pay a flat yearly, which is cheaper. You can do a monthly. There's also a free trial if you'd like. I don't know, cancel a shitty subscription you don't like and give it to me. And it's after tax, by the way. After tax, you're basically just buy me a coffee once a month to get all the astrology lowdown. So what's happening? Okay, what's happening? So this is our second eclipse of eclipse season. Recapping, I know I just said this, but repetition is how we learn things. New moon eclipse we just had on February 17th. That was started off the year of the fire horse in Chinese astrology. And then that was our first eclipse in Aquarius and Leo. So that's starting a new eclipse story that is going all the way into 2028. And today we have a Virgo eclipse. So part of the Virgo Pisces axis. This is happening at 13 degrees of Virgo. And it's not our last Virgo Pisces eclipse, but we're rounding home. We're going to have another eclipse. We're not going to have eclipses again until August 12th in Leo, a solar eclipse, and then August 28th in Pisces, a lunar eclipse. Then in 2027, we'll get back into eclipse season in February. So on February 6th, 2027, we'll have, I know I'm already going there, but this is how we have to think. This will help frame your reference. But February 6th, 2027, then we'll have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. And then February 20th, 2027 is our last and final eclipse in Virgo Pisces in Virgo. And actually, for me personally, just looking, it is on my nodal degree and I am in my nodal return. Wow. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that means for me. And if you were like, what the hell did she just mean in general? I'm talking about my own natal chart for a split second there. If you want to get into how these eclipses are going to affect your natal chart, please, let's do a reading for you. I was just telling a friend the other day because they're like, how's astrology going? I'm so busy. I mean, I'm doing a day job. I'm doing astrology readings at night and events and workshops and going out to resorts and things. And it's so good. It's so funny because 2025, I was definitely underemployed. 2026 has not been the case. And I will thank my blessings in my wallet, thanks the blessings. And I'm telling you, this money oil that I got, if you've been listening, hit me. I need to get a referral link already, but, actually, no, it's generosity. Well, it's the Gypsy Goddess. I got to write this down, so I linked this. And sorry I said the G word. That is what they are called. So you can take it up with them. But it's the Gypsy Goddess money oil, and I got it through Spellbound Sky. If you are really needing cash, I'm not someone that's typically oh my God, you have to get this candle or oil. It will literally bring you riches. This has been working. And also for the folks in my life who've used it, they've seen results. So, but like all things, and this is how I think of an eclipses too, be careful what you wish for. Very grateful. But, I think of eclipses, it's like, you probably have heard, like, don't manifest during eclipses. Don't, call in things. And the reason why, my point of view, is that it's like you don't know what genie you're asking during eclipses. Maybe you're used to your typical, you're who you envision as the universe or your guides or whatever is listening to your requests to the world, your intentions. But during the eclipse, I always think of it, it's like you ask the genie for a new car, and it's like your wish has been granted, and then you wreck your car and then you get a new car because of insurance. It's better just to see what the universe wants you to not to have, all in this time. And again, I am comfortably saying this from the fucking United States of America, where we just invoked so much additional violence on top of the violence that we're always provoking with the news, with Iran and everything that's happening. So that being said, as I put out this episode about astrology and life, as I'm sitting here broadcasting from Los Angeles, California, United States, I don't know. I'm curious if anyone else who works in astrology or tarot or, mysticism, it's hard to be an astrologer right now. I think a lot of people are like, wow, isn't this because so many of the things are just coming true. It's just really eerie and really literal. And I think the other part too is, you're helping people, you're being of service to them, and well, what should I do with my life during this time? And, when you do an astrology reading, that's usually what, for me, and maybe this is the kind of people I attract, but a lot of people are just wanting to know how they should move through their earthly world. What is life calling for them? And I always say in readings with me, it's like, I can help point you to where there's a lot of go and flow and where it's time to slow and rest. Like we are cyclical beings and our natal chart points to those things. Okay, I need to save however the fuck I just described that in like on like my website or something, because I'm snapping myself. I'm like, yeah, it is. And yeah, it's just hard to help people during really chaotic times. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'd imagine therapists are going through similar things. Anyone who is of support to others. That being said, I do love to be of service to others. I'm just letting y'all know that even astrologers who maybe are accurately predicting things and seeing how things are shaking out, it's like we're still human and this still sucks, and we're still like the citizens of Earth experiencing it as well. So yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. In another third space perk is the chat room. Like, I just want to chat. I want to chat in the comments. Like, how are we, like, I don't know, like humans, I know like social media has like discouraged us from like interacting with each other, and like the algorithms and value systems of that have made it feel like we are just like at the mall watching things. Like, I saw an interesting TikTok about like the psychology of the photo dump, and like taking us on, it's like, I want to recap after I've done things and this, and yeah, being online. I don't know. I miss like chat rooms, I guess. So, do I start a Discord? I don't know. Again, it's still Mercury retrograde. I gotta not, no. Maybe later, but see, noticing the things that come up during this time. But I'm going to do what I usually do during lunation episodes, which is take us on a walk around the chart of the eclipse. I will say, because this is not a lunation where I encourage working with this lunation, like we're observing, you can just take this episode as a reflection piece. If you feel like journaling about whatever comes up for you, or just, I don't know, walking and listening to this and being in nature, hiking, whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's not like I'm trying to say there's nothing like applicable. There's nothing to do besides notice. So yeah, we have a lunar eclipse, full moon. It's a full moon eclipse happening at 12 degrees of Virgo. A full moon is when the sun and moon, astrologically speaking, are as far away from each other as they can be. They're in opposition. And also, you'll see in the chart too, there's the nodes, and the nodes is what gives us clues of where the eclipses are going to be. So this shows us the nodes are lunar nodes, and then they signify a point of the ecliptic, which is where the sun and moon's light gets obscured, and which causes eclipses. So we are still experiencing quite a pile up of planets. Now they're all in Pisces. We'll get into it in a second. So I'm going to go over what aspects are happening we'll start with the sun and moon first. Usually that's what I do pre-paywall, and then post-paywall, post-subscriber, I'll get into the rest of the aspects. Actually, this is convenient because there's just so many together. So a lot of these conjunctions are making a lot of these, they're sparking a lot of the same conversations. So let's begin. First, we have the Virgo moon sitting with the south node because it's an eclipse, and the sun sitting with the north node. The moon in Virgo, let's talk about Virgo moon energy. So Virgo moon is, I think about very famous Virgo moon, Charlie XCX, ruled by that Virgo moon. Virgo moons we can definitely tie to, of course, observation and details. And the big Virgo theme that's been happening with these Pisces Virgo eclipses is really about releasing control and perfection, and not systems necessarily, but systems that just don't, systems for system's sakes, or like any earth sign, just rules for rules' sake as well. The south node, said to be the dragon's tail, is where, we might have some past life things that, I think of it as very like familiar territory. Like with the south node, it's like we already know how to do that. So we're just being challenged and encouraged. And, it's not, I would say it's never easy to do what the north node is doing. Our instinct may be to do what the south node is doing. So the instinct in this chart is to like outsmart your feelings. That's what like this eclipse is trying to do right now. And it's not going well. Virgo moons can be really rational and really good at compartmentalizing, which can be helpful. But my God, do you not see this giant cluster of Pisces planets? And let's talk about what's happening with the Pisces sun as well. It's sitting there with the North Node, the place of purpose that we're being asked to head towards right now. And Mercury retrograde. Mercury is in Pisces. It's retrograde. I don't even know what to say about this Mercury retrograde at this point. How long has it even been going? Hang on. It's like, I genuinely have to check because time's been such a blur. Right. So that happened late night, February 25th, and we're going to be in Mercury retrograde until March 20th. And I was hoping it would slow down time. I think it's slowing it a little bit, but not like as much as I would like. And I wish for it in a positive slowdown of time way. But also Pisces Mercury is so strange with time anyway. So of course it's just only making the weird relationship with time and processing weirder and weirder. But so we have this sun, you know, when we think of full moons in general too, like we are having the most light. We're seeing what's around and we're seeing really what is working and what's not. And so the sun is asking to go back to something. Some old, I was going to say scheme or scam, but like some old vision, right? If we've been really derailed off course, if we've been really like, I don't know, it all happens to us. Sometimes I feel this way about astrology. Sometimes I sit down, I'm like, how did I get here? I mean, I guess, yeah, through a bunch of steps and intentions and work, but then you're like, whoa. What? It's like, wait, I still, for me and my own person, I still want to publish a book. So I need to prioritize this. I am really, using personal example here, insert yourself. It's like, I am really great at podcasting and making social media things and doing events and being in person. Like, and it's like, oh, that sounds like I'm bragging, but then there's I can focus on all the stuff I'm just naturally good at. And that's good. Like we should nurture our gifts and talents and skills, but also I'm going to have to work harder at the thing that doesn't just come to me. And I think that is the Pisces reflection for a lot of people right now, especially because right before this eclipse started, it's a little bit away from the sun. Mars, the planet of action and motivation, conflict, moved into Pisces too. So now just more Pisces stuff. We are literally moving like a Pisces through this moment. And I'm not going to lie, my North Node's in Pisces. Pisces is, I think, lives up to its unknowability in some ways because it can be so hard to grasp what Pisces, like what does it mean to do things like a Pisces? And it really is almost like the opposite of whatever the fuck I'm doing right now, which is overthinking, over-explaining, and just like recognizing literally in your body in a very somatic way what the fuck do you really feel about everything happening around you. I'm going to come back to the Pisces cluster in just a second, but just want to acknowledge that so of course, we have the opposition of the North Node, Sun and Mercury to the Moon and South Node, of course, because that's their opposition set up with the full moon. But then also what's really interesting is that we have Jupiter in Cancer, and it is it's aspecting both the sun and moon. So we're getting a Jupiter in Cancer is trining. So it's sending positive flowing love beams to the North Node, to the sun, to Mercury. And it's sextiling the moon. Like everyone that is really like the driving force of this eclipse is very working well with Jupiter. Jupiter is our planet of growth, of magnification. It's in Cancer. My only this is a good reminder about how quote good aspects don't always mean good. It just means how they work. I'm trying to think what's a good example. Okay, this is just a fake example of someone's natal chart, but let's say someone has Mercury trine Mars or whatever. It's oh wow, they're really good at expressing Mars things. wow, they're so good at expressing Mars things. They are always getting into fights. And so Jupiter is amplifying our sun and moon, our conscious and subconscious. Mercury retrograde, maybe a lot of misinformation, a lot of secrecy, a lot of things not really shared because Mercury retrograde. This is more the eclipse of it versus Mercury retrograde, but the Mercury retrograde just absolutely amplifies the fact that it is about information at the same time. And Jupiter in Cancer, what we've really seen this last year is it at its worst, nationalism and Cancer being connected to like home and family and like being really selective of home and family. So I don't know. I'm not saying like, okay, automatically this trine with Jupiter and sextile to the moon is equaling automatic bad, but we are in quote the bad times. We are quote in very difficult times. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like fucking look out, like Google is free. Go Democracy Now. I don't know. Catch up. I feel like I'm sounding really short and possibly mean, but maybe this is me in the Pisces. Like, oh my God, am I coming off? Whatever. I think it's just my Pisces moment truth is like, I'm just so tired. I really want a vacation. Like, I really want a little break. I really want to turn my brain off and see what messages come inside. I want that so bad. Also, I have 12th house placements, and I've just realized how much 12th housers need to sneak away. Like, they just need to like be like, I'm actually going somewhere for 2 weeks. Bye. Need to reset. Like, your energy is all seeped into mine. And maybe if you're hearing this now, then you needed to hear it too. Where can you maybe go retreat a little bit? You know, Pisces does need room to feel. And if you've been, I don't know, maybe like you're living with your parents or you're living with roommates and you're just feeling claustrophobic, like, where can you carve some moment? Where can we do Pisces escapism positively? Where can we, with our Pisces vibe, be like, not my monkey, not my circus. Actually, I want to like, I'm going to go focus like on me again. So yeah, but also this Jupiter trine sextile can be really constructive for saying how you really feel. Like, life's too short, have we not seen, to not just really let it out. Okay, I want to talk also about really what's happening in this big old stellium. So just to recap, and I'll have an image of the chart too. We have Mars 0 degrees Pisces, the North Node in Pisces, the Sun in Pisces, Mercury retrograde in Pisces, then Venus in Pisces, and then out of sign but very near each other, we also have Neptune and Saturn in Aries, because Neptune and Saturn, babe, they're in Aries now. They are staying in Aries. This is what it is. And you know, something, I was texting with my friend Susie, shout out to Susie, and we were just texting about life and things and just talking about, you know, well, actually we were talking about the eclipses, and I was saying, you know, it's funny how like last September's eclipses felt so much better. They were, I don't know, I was into them. And there's tons of variations of why that could be, like what's up. But then also, you know, we had Neptune and Pisces still. And I think at that time, maybe, yes, I think Saturn was already back in Pisces. Not that I was missing that by any means. But Neptune and Pisces, really, we were texting about it. It really feels like, I texted her and said, it's like the big light is on. You know, like Neptune and Pisces gave us some illusions to still hold on to, and those are gone. Yeah, Susie was like, it's like you can see every pore, you know, on a face. It's like that. Yeah, it's like, it's unflattering lighting. It is no, like maybe the couldas, what is it? It's like, it's dark, blinding, sober reality. And, you know, that's partially also built up with Saturn there too, you know, where we had the Saturn-Neptune exact conjunction at 0 on February 20th. So also in the midst of this eclipse season, you guys, like, I don't even know what to say. The astrology, we knew it was going to be like this year, but it's just really being like this year. But also Venus here. So Mars and Venus also, and Mercury, but retrograde, all being here also amplifies the day-to-day routines. Mercury of like how we're interconnecting and moving through the world. Mars, same sort of thing, but with more of like the innate drive. And then Venus too, with like our values and relationships and those sorts of things. Now Venus is more sitting with Neptune and Saturn, And Venus is going to move into Aries later this week, but it's still in Pisces for now. It's still hoping and praying and looking for love. But I do like this cluster together in a weird way of Venus and Neptune and Saturn, because it really feels like getting back to that vision and constructing the dream, because Saturn is so about what can we actually do, and Neptune is said to be the higher octave of Venus, and then Venus there too. And then it's only getting support from Pluto and Uranus, because again, if you've been here anytime within the past year or so, you've known that we've been in this outer planet configuration for some time, and we will be, where Pluto is sextiling, Neptune and Saturn, Uranus in Taurus. So we have Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is sextiling also Saturn and Neptune. And yeah, they're not trining each other anymore, Pluto and Uranus, but they will. They're going to all like slightly move back and forth. But overall, we're just like in this minor grand trine of the outer planets for a hot minute. So yeah, a lot of words, a lot of info, zooming it back out. Maybe it's just all the Pisces. It's like Pisces is the end. And Mercury retrograde, it's going to go direct on spring equinox, on the first day of Aries season. We are spending the final days of Pisces season, the end of our astrological new year, in eclipse energy, Mercury retrograde, and then this really large, crazy configuration. Oh, and then, we came off the Mars-Uranus exact square. I mean, we're still technically in a Mars-Uranus square, but it's separating now, so it's it's a wane, it's going down in its strength, but still Mars square Uranus is about pressure and conflict, and now and surprises, and maybe I also just lashing out, people just being bitchy for no fucking reason, and being sensitive, not I know I was just talking about sensitivity with Pisces thing, but being maybe the hidden sensitivities they felt towards you, or the things that they might get under their skin about you, it's just starting to come out. And so it's like almost everyone needs a break from each other. Now, I think, because so many of these transits are interacting, the only one that's kind of standing out alone, unaspected, not interacting with other planets, is Chiron in Aries. Chiron, our wounded healer, also connected to war and battles and all of that, is not being impacted by other planets. It's really standing alone. That feels just like further encouragement to really get some alone time in, at least until we have our next lunation, which will be a new moon on March 18th. And that is our next lunation post eclipse season. That's when we get back to quote manifesting. It will still be Mercury retrograde, but we can manifest during Mercury retrograde. That's fine. And actually, it can be really good about all these things we're talking about now. So keep notes, keep tabs, phone notes, whatever it is, about really what is revealing that it just wasn't maybe as cracked up to be. I think Pisces being so much at the end is hitting that, ascent, or hitting that goal and hitting that final phase, and then going, okay, I know what comes next is Aries, and that is starting something totally new. But I also need to maybe take inventory and give thanks and acknowledge which parts of me are from an old time. It's like when you see clothes you used to wear, and you're like, yeah, I love that for her then, but I would never wear this now, giving acknowledgement to the different time periods we even move through as humans, as adults. God, I hope there's not kids listening. I'm sure there's a setting I can do to be like, no, you have to be an adult human. So yeah, I think the Chiron in Aries is really unaspected, is a reminder of it's so easy to blame. It's so easy to point fingers. It's so easy to say that this is this person's fault, but it's just really not helpful right now. It's just kind of and I'm not saying we shouldn't point fingers at the fuckers who are starting war for no fucking reason. However, for me, my forecasts are really about, of course, the macro and the micro. Most of us are going to have if we're lucky, as we see, it is a privilege to just have a normal, boring day. To be able to be a person who gets to sit and listen to stuff about astrology is a privilege. And, you know, those boring days, you know, isn't that lucky? But also, if you do have the privilege to, you know, have freedom and do what you want to do, I would suggest maybe, you know, it's like so much of that water is like, maybe we're absorbing too much of other people's feelings or expectations from other people or other people's timelines. Hello. Other people's, especially with Saturn and all that in the mix. It's like how other people got somewhere. It's like, well, nothing makes sense. We don't know how we're going to get to the next thing. We just have to be ready. Also, I was so fucking sick during this eclipse season, Mercury retrograde. I feel like I just finally stopped being sick, like just now, like just a little bit ago. So if you've been tired and wiped out and all this, like just assume everything is going to be slower and take you longer, and just, you know, accept that we're not machines as much as society's really pushing for the machine takeover. We are not machines. We are human. Drink water. Be a human. Go to bed. And also, like, I think the Pisces, going back to the past, like, what are some, like, things that what have been, like, I don't know, my brain just went to, like, maybe for some of you, if it's, like, always ordering every meal because you're just so tired and this, and it's like, yes, but also how much of us is feeding into what everyone's telling us, that we're so tired, we don't have time to do anything, we don't this. It was, like, a guy I saw on TikTok, too, who was, like, when it's like, don't say we're going to war, say they're going to war. Like, we are not, I'm not some support of this. And again, and now I'm starting to, like, self-judge myself in this Pisces way where it's like, yeah, duh, Stevie bitch. But also, I don't know. It's just how I feel. I'm the one with the microphone. If you want one, pick it up yourself. But I have an angel card message for us to sign off on because we need it. So this is from Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels deck. And she has an interesting story. If you don't know about Doreen Virtue, she was like the #1 new age lady making these angel card decks. And then she became born again Christian and is like totally denounced them and would like hate to know that I'm doing this, and has all these like clickbait videos that are like, you are a sinner. Like she's basically like like the Westboro Baptist Church kind of people in terms of like their point of view. Maybe not as extreme, but I think pretty fucking close, allegedly. So yeah, we're working with Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels. So our collective card is, I shuffle them, I pull them. It is, oh wow, it's the Guardian Angel card. And I will read from this booklet. Okay, this is the Guardian Angel card, and I'll put an image of this in the show notes and everything. So the card meaning, your guardian angel wants you to know how much they love you right now. Your angel's love is completely unconditional and all-encompassing. That's nice. I mean, this card is all about angels, so to pull like the Guardian Angel card is pretty high ranking. Okay, is this not, wow, this feels related. You are not alone. You drew this card as a love letter from your guardian angels who want you to know we're right here. We have never left you and we can never leave you. Your guardian angels say that you deserve their help and attention. There's nothing that you could have ever thought, said, or done that could ostracize you from your divine helpers. They never judge or abandon you for the mistakes you make. The angels are simply here to support you so you can spiritually grow and help others. Damn, that's really sweet and necessary right now because, yeah, like, you're not bothering anyone. If you need help, again, even me coming back to like, dang, it's hard to be like an astrology service worker of sorts. It's like, I mean, I love it. And I'm also allowed to express like, dang, it's heavy to hold people in this way. And that sometimes like we are in a place where we really need others to pick us up. And then also we might be in the place where others are down who are around us and we need to pick them up. And life really be an ebb and flow of highs and lows and peaks and valleys. And it's an astrology it helps us track that in a really intricate way. I mean, I was thinking recently, I was like, what if I just stop tracking planets? Like, am I making myself stressed or paranoid or this? And I'm like, but now I just like know it. And now I can just feel the cycles. Like some days I'll just be like, what is it? Like the moon in Capricorn. Like, and I do know it. Like it's pretty memorized in me by now, but then I'll be like, and it's like, okay, wait, I don't need to fear information. And also not having the information is also okay. You're not alone, says the guardian angels. Holy fuck. I hope everyone is doing as best they can. It is heavy out there. To be a millennial meme, I'm sick of living through unprecedented times. You know what I mean? And my heart goes out to everyone who's in the Middle East, who's living in places that people, our government consistently terrorize and target and subject to bullshit. And I don't know. I mean, I'm a 1989 baby. I've been protesting in the Iraq War, grew up with 9/11. It's just like, this shit doesn't, it's like, this needs to fucking end. Can we give peace a fucking chance? But it's like, we all know that this isn't about our vintage idea of whatever war could be about is not that. It's just there is always an ulterior motive. And man, we are just living through the wildest fucking timeline. But we're doing it together. And that does give me optimism. That's the Pluto Aquarius moment right now. I'm like, at least I have you guys. And we have our guardian angels. So we'll be all right. All right. With that, I'm complete. I love you so much. Thank you for supporting Star Quality. Again, if you'd like to upgrade your subscription and become a paid subscriber, we'll love you forever. And you know what? Your angels will probably be into that as well. But with that, take care. Love you. Bye-bye.